Welcome. I am the FX Savant. In this video, we're going to go over how to create a strategy/trading plan. If that sounds like a video that you've been waiting for, go ahead and drop me a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated and it also helps out the channel. But first, before we get into it, the FX Savant University is now open. Yes, I have my program and it is available to anyone who wants to join. In it, you get all the intricacies and details of all the strategies that I use. You also have access to me. I do a Q&A every single day, answering all the questions that the students submit. Also, you can trade with me. The pairs that I trade every day that match the strategies, that's the most important thing. If you know the strategy but you're taking it on the wrong setups, defeats the edge that you have. So every day you can trade the pairs that match the strategies perfectly, and with me getting the correct entry, stops, and targets every single day. So come on, join it. But let's get back to the topic in hand. So creating a strategy, it's simple. You just need to know what rules you're following, and they need to be rules that you can follow consistently and objective. So it needs to be a clear yes or no, this is happening, or something in the market that isn't discretionary. So I've came up with 3 things that I think every strategy incorporates, or the basis of every strategy needs in order to be profitable or consistent, or to even be a strategy. It doesn't need to be profitable or consistent. This just needs to be in there in order for it to be a strategy. So what is the 3 things? Number 1 is that you need to be able to define your direction. So yes, we know the market goes in 3 directions. It's either trending up, trending down, or it's consolidating. But if we just zoom out a little bit and take an overall general perspective of the market, we can say that the market either moves up or down. After it breaks out of consolidation, it's either going up or down. So we need to be able to define the direction that we're trading, and that's number 1. Number 2, we need to have clear entries, targets, and stop reasoning. So we need to have a reason as to why we want to enter into the market at a particular area, why we want to get out of the market at a particular area, and why, I guess that works on both ways. So number 3 is that we need to clearly define our risk management/trade management. So how much are we going to be risking using this strategy, as well as how are we going to manage the trade once we are in the trade. If you get those 3 things, I think that you will have the basis of a strategy. Of course, there are some other things that you need to do in order to solidify anything you come up with as a profitable strategy. So for instance, my strategies have gone through strenuous tests in order to be solidified as proven profitable. I think that step 1 is you need to back test any strategy that you come up with for at least 5 years on all pairs. So let's just say 50 pairs, for instance. So you need to back test 5 years on 50 pairs. You could essentially do 1 pair a day, 5 years of back testing if you're dedicated. Let's round it out to about 2 months. So you need to do 2 months of back testing on the wide market to make sure that your strategy does work in all markets for at least 5 years. Step number 2 is you need to then demo test the strategy that you came up with. After you've back tested it for 2 to 3 months, you need to demo test it for 2 to 3 months to make sure that you get consistent results every 2 weeks to a month. So you're coming out profitable every 2 weeks to a month, 2 to 3 months after you've back tested. So we've gone through 6 months, and then you need to live test it with a small sample size. So not only are you live testing your strategy, you're also testing the broker. You want to make a small deposit into the broker to make sure the broker is okay with you, fits all your criteria, as well as you want to make sure your strategy is okay in live market conditions, because back testing is not live market conditions. As well as demo, it's live market conditions, but it's not the live market. So pip spread and everything about that may play a factor into your strategy once you move to live testing. You want to make sure everything's okay with that. Once you get to the live testing phase, for example, say you have $50,000 you want to invest, you may invest $5,000 into a broker, only put $5,000. You'll still get leverage, so you'll still get to be able to use your $5,000 as if it was your full $50,000. Say you take 1% risk on all your trades, you $500 for your $5,000 initial deposit. You test that live for 6 months, see how you do. If you're profitable, consistently profitable, then yes, you can deposit more into your broker. I don't recommend it. You can still stay with your initial deposit. That way you're not 100% invested into one company. Bruh, what's going on? I wouldn't recommend you deposit all of your investment into one broker, I would encourage you to do exactly what I said. Just keep that. You will have your $5,000 of leverage, which will probably act as $50,000 or more. And then you go from there. Once you get your 6 months data, you then analyze it, see that you are profitable, and you then have a profitable and proven strategy. But plug, alley-oop off the backboard to myself for this plug. But if you don't want to go through all that work, I do offer strategies that have gone through this testing that are proven and profitable. So come on and join. But with all that said, let's get back to the video. So we need to have a clear direction, clear entry reason as to why we're entering into the market and putting our stops and targets at a certain place. And then we also need to make sure that we have clear defined rules as to why we want to risk a certain amount, as well as how we're going to manage the trade once we are triggered. So what did I come up with? Of course, please, disclaimer, there's a disclaimer in the beginning of every video. Please, disclaimer, I have not taken this through the scrutinous test that it needs to go through. Just like I said, I just chose this as random portions of a strategy just to show you that the strategy doesn't need to be complex. You just need to have certain parts in it that you can repeat and test over and over to understand if it's profitable for you or not. So for us in this video, what is our strategy? Our strategy is that our direction, we find it using daily patterns. More importantly, the most common pattern in the market. Our entry reason is going to be on the hour. We're going to look for clear breaks and retests in the direction of our daily pattern, and that's all we're going to look for. And we're going to put our stops below the low, and we're going to be looking for a 2R risk to reward. So that's our reasoning as to behind why we're entering in the market and our stops and targets. And 3, our risk management and trade management is going to be that we risk 1% on every trade. And how we manage the trade is that once we are triggered, we do not mess with the stop loss or the take profit, and we do not go break even at any instance in the trade. We just let the market work for us and let our money work and just see if we can understand the market. So now that we have our strategy down, now that we also have how we're going to get our direction, our entry reason, and our trade / risk management, let's go on to the chart. Like I said, once again, please do not go out and use this strategy as a full-fledged strategy. Just line everything up again. Please do not go out and trade this thinking that this is a full-fledged strategy. It has not been tested. For this example, what we're going to do is we're going to back test GBP JPY for the last week. So we're going to go back over the last week, use the replay tool, went back a week, and we're going to drop down on the daily. So how we said we get our direction is from the daily time frame, daily patterns. Easy to see is that the market broke below this area, immediately came back into the zone and came back for a retest. So came up, we broke below and closed below this area. We immediately came back into this area that we were not breaking below before, immediately came back. Matter of fact, we came all the way back to almost the starting point, and then we came back and down, retested the left shoulder. We did not break below it, and after that we got a pretty aggressive bullish candle out of that. So we have a inverted head and shoulders. Yes, it looks like an M pattern, but we did not break below. So we have an inverted head and shoulders clear. We have an inverted head and shoulders per the rules that we trade the market. So if we remove that, what can we see? We can see also that in order for us to make our way all the way back up here, we had to have some sort of an impulse. So if we take our Fibonacci from the low to the high, the impulse, we came down in this area and retested this structure support, which is below the 786, but we did not break and close below the 786. What we did is we came and retested all the way down in this area and rejected from here, closing above the 618 on our Fibonacci retracement. So we can say that yes, we are moving bullish. And once again, this is just solely created right now. Do not, please do not go out and try to trade this. I do not trade like this. This is none of the strategies. I just picked these rules in order for this video to make sense. So we can see that we have a -27 at this area. We can say that we expect price from this bullish candle out of here, since we did not break and close below the left shoulder. We expect price to reach this area up in here. So that is the premise and how we found our direction. We are going to want to buy this market for our strategy. Now, we only find our direction on the daily time frame. On the hour time frame is where we're going to be taking our trades and looking for trade setups. And what are we looking for? We're looking for clear breaks and closes in the direction of our target on the hour. That's it. All we're doing is looking for break and closes. We're looking for a retest of the area, and then we're going to just put our stop below the low and target a 2-to-1 risk to reward all the way up until we get to our target. Okay, so we're going to look for break and retest retest all the way up to our target on the hourly time frame. Let's start up. So we've gone back a week, which is 10-1. So 10-3 is the start of last week. So let's go. We know that we're looking for buys, and if we're looking for breaks and retests of structure, we're going to look to see if market can break this area, and we would look in for a potential setup. So if we play it forward, price is holding in this area, consolidating in this area. We should look for a break above, but if we break below, then we could probably move to another pair. So if we play it forward, so we got a clear break and close above the area. All we're looking for is a retest, and we're going to target a 2-to-1 risk to reward with our stop below the low in this market. Put our stop below the low, a 1-to-2. So now we have 2R. That's still below our target, which we are looking for all the way up here. So anytime we get a break and retest on the hour, we're going to look for, or anytime we get a break of structure, we're going to look for a retest entry, putting our stop below the low, targeting 2R all the way up until we get to this area. So we are triggered into the market on this trade. The next candle triggered us, and we are rolling. We're not going risk free at all. We're just going to let the market play. We finally broke above this structure area here, so we will look for a little break and retest. Put our stop below the low. We can go we'll go low here and look for 2R risk to reward all the way up. Triggered, stopped out. It's all right. When we start breaking structure to the upside, we came back and hit our entry on the first position as well, but we are not risk free, so the trade is still open, and we are looking for any breaks and retests on the 1 hour. So if we look here, this is our area right in here. If price breaks above this, we'll look for a break and retest on this market. We did not. We got respected up the zone. We're breaking down. Don't want to look for anything yet. Okay, getting interesting. We broke above the area, so we'll look for a retest. Put our stops below the low. We'll target a 2R. We'll play it forward. Okay, we're triggered into this market. Actually, I went way too fast. Okay, we got triggered into this market. Now we also have this area here. So if we break and retest this structure area, that is a break and close above. We are broken and closing above. So the rules say we need to take a entry here. Put our stop below the low. Target 2R, keep playing. Okay, we have a structure break here. I can remove this, I can remove this, I shall remove this and this. So here's what we're working with now. We've had one loss so far. Actually, we got the close, break and close above this area. So target a 2R, put our stops below the low, put our stops below the low, target a 2R all the way up to our target. We got triggered again. Now we have more. Yeah, this is a kind of a crazy strategy we picked here. We're getting a lot of trades within this week if we break above our zone. So mind you, we've only taken one loss. We took this one loss right here. We're risking 2R on this one. We have met targets for actually all the trades now. So far, all the trades have hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4 trades have hit take profit at a 2R. That's 8. We've lost 1. So minus 1R, that's 7. We're up 7R. And if we break and retest this now, since we got the break and close above, and look for a 2R, stops below the low, risk a 2R, see if we get triggered in on this one. All of our trades so far, so we're up 7R from the 10th to the 5th. So in one day, 24 hours, probably like 36 hours, we're up 7R, which is crazy. We're looking for a retest of this area right here. See if we get that. We actually have structure being created in this area now. So if we get a break and retest of this area, we can look for an entry as well. Price comes back, we break and close above. So what can we do? We can look for an entry. We can also remove this one since we did not get triggered. We don't want to have extra on there. We'll put our stops below the low, and then we'll target a 2R and we'll play it forward. So we got triggered, almost hit stop loss. All right, stopped out on this one. So we're just looking for price to break structure to the upside once again. This is our area here. If we can get a break and close above that, we did not get affected. Let's remove this, keep this a little clean. We took a lot of trades over here, but we lost 2 and 1 4. So we're up 6R so far, and it's only the 6th. In a few days, all right, so we have a break of structure here. In only a few days, we're up 6R. So we have a break of structure here on the hour. We can look for a long, put our stop below the low, targeting a 2R. This is back testing. This is back testing a strategy you created, following our rules. Okay, if we get a break of structure here, we'll set up another trade. Did not get the break. This is our area. We did not get the break, but we did get triggered triggered on this one. So we're triggered in on this one. Nice little move, take profit again. So 2 more R at that 8R. We're up 8R, 1.5, lost 2. If we get a break above this area, yes, price is breaking and closing above. So we have to take the trade. We got to follow our rules. We want to make sure that we test this correctly. There's the low we're going to use, and we're going to look for a 2R. Triggered in on this trade. Price going well, take profit hit. So we also have another level here that price was failing to break above at one point. Let's get rid of this one. We no longer need it. Let's get rid of this one. No longer need it. Here's what we're working with. Another 2R. Matter of fact, another 2R. So we're up 10R. We won 6, lost 2. If we can get a retest, that's what we're looking for. A retest of this area. Stop below the low. Looking for a 2R as long as it's below our take profit. We have another area here. Structure area. This out the way. We're respecting our top structure. All right, we got the break and close above. Let's just move this up here, because if it breaks down to the downside, we don't want to really be in the market if the structure is breaking to the downside. And we will look for a 2R. Did not get triggered. Here's our other area. If price breaks above this, we'll look to take it long. Price came down, we're triggered in on this. If we break above, okay, we can look for another long setup, just per the rules of our strategy that we just created. So this is creating a strategy and going back and back testing it, and we're just following our rules. Boom, another 2R. So we're up 12% in just a week. 12% in just a week, just using this break and retest strategy. I've not tested it any farther than what we've gone through right now. We're triggered in on this trade that we're currently in. If we break and close above this structure, we can look to enter in on another trade, and we do. We break and close above it, so we can look for a retest, put our stops below the low. We'll look to gain 2R all the way up until our target is reached. Actually, this could be the good one. All right, so we're looking for a comeback. If we break above this area, we'll look to take our entry, clean this up, clean this up, clean this up, clean this up. We're up 12R, sitting pretty nicely, looking to make a 14R, something like that. 10, 12, what's going on? Oh, 10-8. Oh, we're at the end of the week. Okay, so we're at the end of the week, sitting really pretty, looking for a retest of this one, which would make 14R. We're up 12R so far, which is kind of crazy. 2 losses, a whole bunch of wins. As you can see that we have our rules in place. This strategy is actually kind of nice, man. I don't know if I'm gonna put this video out. For real, GBJPY is good at trending, and we breaking and retesting, coming back and hitting 2R trades. We only lost 2, taking about, what does that make? 8 trades, 9 trades. And we've won most of them, majority of the trades we've won. So up 12, 14R on this one. I really just wanted to talk about how to create a strategy. That's as simple as it is. You come up with some rules, being able to define the direction, why you're entering, and how you're going to manage the trade. And if you can do that, back testing 5 years across all the pairs to make sure that it does work, then demo trading for about 2 to 3 months to make sure it works, and then live trading with reduced risk for about 6 months, then I think you will have a profitable strategy. But once again, plug. If you don't want to do that work yourself, come join the FX Savant University program. It's really a full program. I think you won't need to go anywhere else once you join this program. It has all the intricacies, once again, of the strategies that I use, all the details that show you how to analyze the market. Everything that I know is available to you if you join the program. That's all I want to say. But as you can see, we created a strategy that is very profitable for this week. It requires you to pay attention to the market, but as far as maintenance, once you're in the market, you don't really have to do much. So that's pretty good as well, and it looks to be very profitable. Disclaimer, I have not tested it any more than the week that we just back tested it, so I would encourage you, if you want to use this strategy or implement it into your trading, go back and back test it and make sure that it is profitable. But with all that said, it's simple, man. You come up with some rules for yourself to be able to decide the direction, why you're entering in the trade, and how you're going to manage it, and then you go back and test it. That is the work that you have to put in. That's the hard part. A lot of people don't want to do that, but it has to be done in order for you to be self-sufficient on a strategy that you create. But that's the end of the video. See how we back tested, how we created a strategy. Thinking I want to do more series like this. If you like that idea, drop me a thumbs up. It'll let me know that I should do more videos creating strategies and just showing you how to create different strategies in the market. And all that said, I hope you have a profitable day on and off the chart, and I'll holla.